Hello, welcome back to the channel. Time for another CD update. Have a bunch of CDs lying around here for a longer time that I haven't talked about yet, and I thought let's get it out of the way before all the new stuff comes in. And I want to talk about. So there's a lot of stuff coming in, so I need to get this off. So first up is a reissue from the debut album from Future Palace. This is an album called Escape, released in 2020. This is a post-hardcore band from Berlin, Germany. Yeah, I really loved their second album, Run, which was a phenomenal album from last year. I still kept in my mind I need to pick up the debut album before they release the new album in September, I think. So it's almost that time. So I need to get this off. And its album is definitely a bit different than the second album. The second album is definitely more heavy than this one. I noticed. I don't dislike this album, don't get me wrong, but this is way different. Of course, music-wise, there are similarities to the first and the second album, but I think the second album is more steady, more heavy, more diverse than this album is. Especially in the vocal department. I tend to have the idea that she sings way more clean on this one than on the second album. Is the more diverse of harsh and clean vocals, so it has more variety in her vocal lines. She sings good on this one, don't get me wrong, her clean vocals are fantastic, but yeah, I think she expanded her vocal sound, her vocal range a bit more nowadays than she was back then in the day. I don't know how old she was when she was recording this, probably not too old, and yeah, it's definitely could tell it's a really young band here still. I overall like the album. The only two tracks that I found or a bit less my cup of tea are the last two ones, My Air and maybe Stripped. Maybe on its own it's a good song. It's also a regular song on the album, but this is a bonus track, of course, and this is kind of a piano version of that original song. So it's a bit different arrangement. And My Air is definitely more an electronic song, which didn't do much for me actually. Overall, the rest of the album is pretty decent, although I think it's different than the second album. If you're expecting that heavy, harsh approach with the second album, you can be disappointed with this one. So that's where you have to be warned about. But if you're open to more clear sound, more cleaner approach, then definitely is a good scratch an itch. For me, it took a while to get into this one. Second album I grew in pretty fast and I really enjoyed this one still, and I'm really looking forward to the new album. Of course, I heard some new tracks and those are fantastic and more in the line of the second album, so then you know what to expect there. But this is definitely a different beast, and still a really nice album though. I think this would be the least favorite album in the discography so far, and yeah, the discography is not big. If you count in the third album, only 3 albums, but if I would rank them, it would be the at the bottom of that. So overall, yeah, it was a nice listen, but I tend to return more to the Run album. I have to be honest here. So yeah, that's what it is. Next up, an album that I have lying around for a long time and I always forget to talk about, but this is a band from the Netherlands. This is the Charmed, the Fury, the Sick, the Dumb and Happy. Kind of a modern metalcore band from Amsterdam, female fronted as well, just like the Future Palace one. This album was released in 2017 and it's their second album in the discography. And yeah, really nice diverse album. Harsher parts in there as well. I like the vocal range of the vocalist. I think her name is Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, really nice album. I really enjoyed this. Sadly, the band split up, so they're not around anymore. I think she did some radio work after this band for, I think it was 3FM for a while, for the Dutch radio. I don't know who still does that, but she was doing that for a while as well. But yeah, fantastic album. I really enjoyed it. It's diverse. It's catchy. It has the punch, and yeah, really nice album. Also on a rising empire, just like this one is. But this is of course a way older release, and this is of course an collaboration with Nuclear Blast. So this is a bigger release compared to that one. But yeah, fantastic album. The Charm, the Fury, Sick, Dumb and Happy. Go check it out if you're not familiar with it and you like some female fronted metalcore. Great band from Amsterdam. Go check them out. Next one, again on one that's lying around for a long time. I haven't talked about it on my channel so far. It's her 2023 release. It's Hate Über Alles by Kreator. Yeah, what can I say? What not a lot of people already said last year, and I don't want to be repetitive or anything, but it's a different album than you would expect. It's of course it has the faster, trashy moments, but this album definitely has a lot of melodic moments as well, and that probably due to the guitar player they added to their lineup the last couple of years. It brings so much melody to it. Not that is a bad thing. It makes the song catchy and more memorable. Then instead of keeping the thrash rhythm all the time, the same pace, etc., it can be boring. So there's more diversity on the album. Yeah, fantastic thrash release, but a bit more melodic. Mill's vocals are on some songs more melodic as well, so that's really interesting. Mill is known for his more shouty, screamy voice, but he definitely has a lot of more melodic moments on this one. He definitely learned more to sing since halfway the 90s. I think he took some vocal lessons and stuff like that, and he experimented with that, especially on Endorama album, where he has a bit lower singing voice. Of course, this is a more higher singing voice. So it's really interesting how he progresses from that, and but still have that aggressiveness it needs to. Favorite song on this album, Hate Über Alles, probably. Crusted Times is great. I loved Conquer and Destroy. Really love Demon Future. I even love the song with the female singer, Midnight Sun. I don't know if you guys have seen the music video for that one, but that kind of reminded me on the movie Midsummer. I kind of don't know if you guys remember that, but that's kind of what the video reminded me of. And my favorite probably is the last track, Dying Planet, which is really nice, diverse, melodic, trashy song. I really love that one. Probably my favorite song on the album. It definitely had that moment where I thought, I keep on listening to that one. But yeah, nice DG book version. There's also a regular jewel case, but this one was in a sale where I bought this really cheap. So I couldn't resist this DG book version, so I'm happy with that. Again, nice album from last year, in case you missed it, but I doubt you haven't missed it because it's so much talked about on YouTube last year. So yeah, sorry for the glare here, but here's the album cover, a bit better look, because I put seal over it to prevent damaging. I always do that with my jewel case and digibooks to keep them in good condition. But yeah, good album. My favorite Kreator album, probably not. But for the later album artwork releases, this is definitely a really good one. I really enjoy this one. Über alles. Next one was a band that I was not familiar with. I think this band is from Greece, if I'm not mistaken. This is called Winterhorde with Neptunian. This is the last release they did. Kind of a progressive, extreme metal band. You could say this. It's melodic, it's symphonic, it has harsh vocals, it has clean vocals, it has nice music style changes. It can be aggressive, melodic. It's a really, really nice listen. I was not familiar with this. I picked this up also pretty cheap, and I'm not disappointed by this one. I was not familiar with this band. I think it's not the only release they have done as well, so I need to dive a bit more in the discography. But overall, I really, really enjoyed this one. I love the artwork, really cool. And here's a look at the track listing. Yeah, I really enjoyed this album. Yeah, I can't say much about it. It's just I will put some links in the description. Maybe you can judge yourself what you think about it. But it's really nice adventurous listen. A different kind of facets of extreme metal. There's of course some black moments, some death metal, some progressive moments. It's a really, really good stuff, and go check this one out, guys. It's great bands, Winterhorde. Yeah, I don't know if you know this one, but it's definitely worth looking into, and the artwork is really cool. Cool release. Yeah, nothing else to say. Go check them out. Next up is a band I just kind of completed discography a bit for. This is the band's second album. I have the first album and the third album on cassette. I bought this back in the day on a sale from Dying Sun, I think it was. But this is some really fast and furious thrash metal. This is Entrench with Violent Procreation. A band from Sweden. This was released in, I don't see a year. I see when it's recorded, but doesn't say it's released in that year. It's recorded in 2012, that's a thing for sure. Anyways, the band's second album, fast, raw, aggressive, thrash metal. It kind of reminded me of old Kreator. What's the other band that reminded me on? There was another band as well. Oh my god, I'm blanking here so much. I wish I prepared it a bit more. Yeah, the other band is from Germany, I think it reminds me also. Protector, that was the one I was looking for. Protector is the other band I got my thoughts on when I hear this while listening to this. It's really, really fast, dark, furious thrash, almost bordering thrash, death black things. Don't want to say it's like that, but it's definitely that really fast pumping stuff. So I really enjoyed this. If you like those mentioned bands, you won't be disappointed. Yeah, really, really good bands. Sadly, only 3 albums, so I don't know what went wrong there. But if they do a new album, I will be really interested in. This is released on War Anthem Records on Germany. Really nice reissue, I think this is. Good stuff. Go check it out. Entrench. Then I picked up 2 releases from Krokus. First off is the album The Blitz, an album that's kinda starting to get them off their original sound. They got a more 80s hard rock vibe going on, especially album after this one, of course. But this one is definitely that make it really change. It's not a bad album on its own. It's different than the previous 4 albums, let's put it that way, which more had a hard rock sound, AC/DC influenced things. This is definitely a different approach. I think it was released in 80. What year is it? 80. I don't recall. 84, 5 or something like that. Yeah, pretty typical album for the release period. But yeah, go check it out if you haven't heard this one and you want to know a different side from Krokus. This is your thing. I wouldn't recommend their album after this one. Change the address, because that's even more into the era, and kind of it's a bit my least favorite from this band, I have to be honest. But overall, it's a fun listen. I really love the artwork, typical 80s AOR-ish artwork. But yeah, Krokus. Also picked up a newer one from 2010 or something like that, 2012, 11, somewhere in that era. I don't really recall. This is the album Hoodoo. Of course, this is more back to that older sound of theirs, and they stick to it nowadays, so I'm really happy they've done it. It's an album I haven't heard much about, and it was for me the first time listening to it, but I quite enjoy it. It's good riffs, good melodies, nice vocals. Yeah, definitely reminded that 4 albums that became for this album. So yeah, definitely a kind of return to form. I don't know if their albums prior to this, in this time frame, have the same sound. I have to check everything, but I don't know if I'm gonna do that. It's kind of a journey, let's put it that way. If I find something really cheap, I might add it, but it's not a band I seek out per se everything from. So, but I like some albums, and this is definitely a nice addition to the collection. I bought this also pretty cheap, so yeah, good to have in the collection. Next up is a 2024 release. This is The Warning with Keep Me Fat, and this is an all-female hard rock band from Mexico, actually, and this is their new album. Fantastic album, guys. If you haven't seen me react to a lot of songs from this album, then you miss something out, because this band has a lot of talent, a lot of potential, and they have a great ear for writing catchy songs and catchy choruses, great lines. The songs are pretty straightforward, but really well thought out. The vocal lines all match so well together as well. Kind of has to do that they're all sisters, so they probably are a bit in the same range, although one can sit a bit higher than the other one, of course. But they all have talent to sing, and yeah, fantastic. I really enjoyed listening to this. Yeah, Keep Me Fat is fantastic. Sick is great. I really like. What's the other one? Satisfied I really liked. Burnout is okay. Que Masquerades is pretty decent, that song. My favorite is probably Automatic Sun. That's probably my favorite track from the album. But overall, it's a really well composed album, guys. If you don't know this, go check them out. It's a really band that's booming right now. They're playing in Amsterdam in August, and when you see probably this video, then it's already done. So I have already seen them. The concert was sold out, so it's great. They're doing good business. Of course, it also helped they did a collaboration with Bandmate. It also helped a bit in their name spreading during the YouTube and the rest of the world. but they're doing good for themselves as well already for years, because they are active since they were little kids. So that's how long they are busy with the three girls. And yeah, Daniela, Danny, Pau, and Alejandra, and Paulina, I think it says, and Daniela, are fantastic musicians, great singers, and they compose great songs. So go check it out if you don't know the Warning yet. Great band. Then I picked this one pretty cheap from a second-hand seller on Amazon. I bought a bunch of CDs for like 3-4 euros a piece from that. I think was a second-hand book store or something like that, as a seller on Amazon. And 4 euros for Turisas battle metal. How do you call this? Epic Viking folk metal or something. I think you can call this. Really nice listen. It's not a thing that I will put on every time, but if I'm in the mood for this kind of stuff, this definitely scratches an itch, and it's really nice listen. This is their first album. I think they released a couple of more after this one as well. They are Century Media, and it's just a really fun listen. Great folky rhythms, melodies, and then combined with that metal with a more harsher edge here and there. Yeah, really good stuff. If you don't know this band, go check out Turisas. I think they're Finnish, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, if you like your folk metal, this definitely will give you some likings. Really interesting release. Go check it out. I think this is released in 2004, if I'm not mistaken. In somewhere in that era. Yeah, 2004. Go check it out. Turisas. And the last one in this test is of course Def Leppard with Adrenalize. Always also from that seller for 3 euros or something. It's an album that I was not seeking out for, but when I saw it for the price, I thought, well, I might grab that as well. Not their best album by any means, but it has some good tunes on it. Heaven Is, for example, is pretty decent, and there was another one. Was it Let's Get Rocked is also on here, and 1 or 2 other ones. Yeah, of course, a continuation of that Hysteria sound. They try to catch the momentum of the success from that album, and definitely can tell. Not every song is as great as the Hysteria album was, because that contained a lot of hits. This has a few less. Overall, it has a nice spin, but it's not as good as Hysteria or Pyromania, let's put it that way. This is released in 1992, so it was a gap from 5 years as well. So yeah, it took some time for the band to release this. This is of course a second-hand copy, but it was only 3 euros, so who cares. Def Leppard, Adrenalize. So that's it, guys. This is the stuff that I wanted to show you guys, so I can start a bit fresher with a lot of newer material. This was a lot of stuff that I was lying around already for some time, and I thought, let's show it to you guys. You might find something new from it and find, hey, that's a cool band. So if you did, thank you very much, and congratulations with your new find. But yeah, it's all it, guys. Thank you all for watching, and see you guys with the next one. Cheers.